All right, excellent. Well, let's get started. Today we are going to have a class talking about the biomes. All right. Do you know what that term means, biome? Let's see. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, so let's see. So a biome is a very large area of the earth. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like regions. There are regions of the earth surface that have a particular climate, soil elevation, a different particular type of vegetation, animal population. Okay, so the word biome, all right, comes from bio means basically life, okay, and so the biome is the mass of life, all right, the life that is encompassed within that particular region, okay. And so there are different places of the earth have different biomes, okay. So either because of the climate the biome is different, or because of the vegetation, the altitude, all right. Many times you have that in the mountain areas you have a specific type of weather and vegetation, animal life, and so on. And so that creates a particular biome for that area, for that region. Okay. So this is a map of all the different biomes of the world. So we have the largest type of biome is the aquatic or ocean biome. Okay, so all the things that are in the water and all the animal life that is in the water and everything that create a particular type of biome. Okay, and that is actually the largest. Two-thirds of the surface of the earth are covered with water. Okay, and within this biome also there are different regions, of course. Okay, because for example the type of aquatic life and animals that you have in the Antarctic Ocean or the Arctic Ocean is very different than what you would encounter around the equator, even in the oceans. Okay, so then we have the tropical seasonal forest or savanna, that is this lighter green area that is mostly here, Africa, the medium part of Africa and southern Africa. You have some here in Mexico, India, and Southeast Asia, parts of China. The tropical rainforest that happens in the Amazon jungle, Mato Grosso area, the Congo jungle, Madagascar, and then Southeast Asia and Indonesia, especially where you have there the rainforest. Okay, these are the areas really that are the lungs of the earth. Most of the conversion of carbon dioxide into oxygen through plants happens here in the tropical forest. Of course, that every plant, okay, also contributes to that, but as far as the land conversion, that happens a lot here in the tropical forest. The oceans also contribute a lot to that with the algae. All right, the algae also purify the air and they photosynthesize, and so they also convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. Mm-hmm. Then we have a temperate rainforest. Okay, that is this area kind of light blue is not the tundra. I cannot distinguish exactly the color here of the temperate rainforest in this picture. We have the temperate deciduous forest that is the biggest part of Europe. So can you see that here in Europe, the majority of Europe is temperate deciduous forest, and we are going to get into more detail on that. Okay. Then the other part of Europe in Finland, Sweden, and northern and central Russia, okay, is the boreal forest or taiga biome that is different than the temperate forest. Okay, then we have temperate grassland or desert, and that is really the area where we are, kind of in the west of the United States or the mid area of Kansas and Texas and so on, grassland, and most of Asia, Central Asia, is on that area. So most of China is this grassland desert type of biome. Mm-hmm. You have also the Middle East, Turkey, and so on in that sense. I had a friend of mine that he was telling me that some of his friends, they were from Iran, and they said that they felt they were coming here to study at the University of Utah, and they said that the weather, the vegetation, the mountains, and everything here in Utah, they looked a lot like Iran in the area of Tehran where they were from. Okay. Then we have the subtropical desert, which is the area here in Baja California, Arizona, southern Texas, and then of course most of the Sahara Desert, Saudi Arabia, that is the subtropical desert, and then there are some areas here also in Pakistan and Afghanistan of desert, and most of Australia is also in this type of desert. Another biome, the woodland shrubland, that is the southern part of Europe, is in that qualification, and then the northern tip of northwest Africa, Morocco, Libya, Algiers, okay, is under that biome. Okay, we have some of that also in Southern California and most of the tip of South America. So I grew up in this area, which is called the Pampas, the wet Pampas, and it's all part of this woodland, shrubland. Okay, lots of grass, okay, shrubs, and very open spaces, some stands of wood, but a lot of open spaces. Then the next biome is the alpine biome that happens at high altitudes. So we have some of that here in Utah at the top of the mountains. So if you go, for example, up in Timpanogos or any of the high mountains, you would see the difference between the temperate grassland desert vegetation and then the alpine vegetation. In Europe, we have that biome here in the Alps, which are the highest mountains. So Switzerland has that type of biome. And then the mountains that we saw here in between Norway and Sweden. Mm-hmm. All right, then finally we have the tundra, that is most of the northern part of the world, northern Russia, northern Canada, and Greenland, Iceland is all tundra, and most of Alaska is also tundra. And we will see what is the type of vegetation. The last one is the polar ice caps, and it's missing Antarctica, but Antarctica would be also all white, okay, because there's basically just ice and rocks, very, very little as far as vegetation, okay. Antarctica is the continent that is here at the, in the southern pole, in the South Pole. And let me see if I can get a map of that really fast. Of Antarctica. Yes, we are recording. Okay, yeah, I have it recording. Okay, thank you, Rodney, for reminding me. Okay. All right, excellent. Yeah. Okay. Map of Antarctica. Okay, so let's see if we have there a map of Antarctica. This would probably be better. Okay. So, this is not a very good resolution. Okay, there you went. Okay, it has to load out again. So Antarctica is a continent, a very large continent, but it's mostly covered all with ice. There are some mountains and so on, but it's all covered with ice. Very, very cold place, really. Okay. Spot for recording on the side. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm not recording with GoToMeeting. I'm recording with QuickTime. Yes. So thank you for reminding me, and feel free to remind me all the time about about recording. Okay, I don't want to miss that. In last week, when my computer froze, we lost about 5 minutes of the class recording. Luckily, I didn't lose the whole thing. All right. So let's start here looking at the tundra biome, okay, and looking at some of the characteristics of that. So we have here in the map where that type of biome is encountered on the north, and it is the coldest. It's located in the Arctic region. It has long, dark winters and very short and cold summers, really. Plants grow close to the ground, okay, and most of the animals have thick fur and other adaptations to shield them from the cold and the long winter. All right, so for example, you have polar bears and so on. It is still a very pretty area. In the summers, the vegetation comes up, but it's usually very, very flat. Okay, vegetation. You don't have trees in the tundra area, in the tundra region. You have a lot of lichen. Okay, that are very small, organisms really that grow on rocks and everything. Very short grasses. Okay, and as far as animals, you have your reindeer, polar bears, seals, a lot of aquatic animals. Okay, that have special adaptations against the cold. So in Europe, you have wolves also. Yes, You have in Europe the northern part of Russia and the northern part of Sweden, Norway, and Finland is in the tundra biome. Okay. If we move a little warmer than the tundra, we have the coniferous forest, the taiga biome. Okay, and this is also very cold. It also has long, cold winters and short, rainy and warm summers. Okay, so that's kind of the difference. So the summers are in this region are a little warmer, and there is rain. Okay, and so the plants include conifers, okay, or trees with cones, and animals that have a thick fur to shield them from the cold, long winters. Here you have your bears, okay, also other type of deer and wolves and so on that grow long fur. Bison, okay, here in America. And in this area you start to see shrubs, okay, that are higher, and coniferous trees, so pine trees mainly. So the pine trees are able to withstand the long winter because the needles that are the leaves really of the trees, they are basically, if you wish, engineered, okay, to show let's say, to be able to withstand the cold. So the leaves, instead of being broad leaves, there's lots and lots of very small needles, okay, and those don't uh, get a lot of water in them, okay, and so they are able to survive the cold winters, okay. So you see that how Heavenly Father really engineers different things for different climates. Okay. Also the cool thing about the pine trees with the needles is that they are able, these needles are strong and they are connected together with a strong branch, and so they are able to withstand a lot of the weight of the snow that happens. Okay, does that make sense? So if you have trees with broad leaves, the snow would gather on them and it would break the branches. So the conifer trees have these needles that don't break. They are able to resist the cold and they are able to resist the weight of the ice. Okay, and that is how they survive the winters. Okay. So let me see. Okay, let's hide that. And so next we have the high mountain or the alpine biome. This I think is also very, very pretty. Okay. Oh, you miss the snow. Yes, I have to tell you, Annika and Sam, we miss the snow also here in Utah. It hasn't been very cold yet. Okay, we have had a little bit of snow in the mountains, but not too much. And actually, we need a whole lot more. Okay, because all the reservoirs are pretty low. So you see that this biome is also present in all the areas. Yeah, it's really messed up. In Ohio, it's just cold, no snow, just wind. Yeah, we will see what Ohio's biome is. Okay, we'll get to that, Sabrina, when we get to that, and tell us if you can recognize it. Okay, all right. Uh, Nathan, you said I never get snow here. Where are you, Nathan? I don't remember.
Arizona.
In Arizona, yeah. Good luck. You are in
I'm
a
in
different
Mesa,
biome. Okay.
Mesa, Arizona. So
Yeah,
the coldest it gets is around 40 degrees.
that's right. Yeah, that is when people start breaking their sweatshirts and everything there, which is ridiculous. But you know, hey, it's interesting how people also change and are able to adapt to that. So the high mountain biome, okay, is very interesting because you have some areas where trees and flowers grow in the spring, but usually those are not, they don't survive very long, and there are a lot of interestingly a lot of insects in this biome. See, the alpine biome is one of the areas where insects actually thrive. Okay, so Annika and Sam, okay, it snow every 50 something years in Mexico, but right before Christmas it hail. Oh wow, so interesting. So if I understand correctly, okay, so here Annika and Sam are in La Paz, Bolivia, in the area here of this biome. Okay, would you like to describe some of what is the vegetation that you had there? Okay. No, this is a very high place. Really, La Paz is extremely high. When you first get there, you feel literally quite dizzy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and is very high. So There in Bolivia, La Paz, one of the animals that they have that is very unique is the alpaca. Llamas and alpacas, okay, they have very thick fur, beautiful fur. There's not a lot of plants, and there's lots of fewer trees, very, very few trees. Okay. Oh, so you hate the insects? Yes. Yeah, I don't like the insects either, but there are a lot of insects really that they survive the high altitudes. Okay, ombud trees are common there. The ombud tree, ombu, okay, is actually how it's pronounced. It's a very interesting tree. Let me see. Let's try to get a picture of an ombu here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's a very interesting tree because it's actually not really a tree. It's a shrub. Okay, but it grows very, very high. Okay, so they are very common in South America. In the area where I was from, there was a park where there was an ombu. There were a couple of ombu trees, and these are the roots of the tree, and you could climb up this tree. This is one of the trees in Buenos Aires. Okay, and they are really fun to climb because they are easy to climb. Okay, so in Uruguay there was a whole forest of them. One was big enough to build a house in it. Yeah, I tell you, they are really, really fun trees. So here you have also another ombu in Parque Rivadavia. This is also in Buenos Aires. Very common in my area of the country. Are there ombud trees in Bolivia? Okay, yeah. So it's interesting because even though it is called a tree, it is not really a tree. It is a shrub. Okay. Then we get to the woodland shrubland biome. Okay, and in here we have, are those trees hundreds years old? It's not. They are not that old, Rodney. I remember the ones that were in Rosario, in my city where I grew up, that we play on them, and they were quite large. My grandfather said that he remembered when those trees were planted in that park. Okay, so they grow actually quite fast. Okay, when they develop, because they are a shrub, when they develop quite fast, it's a very soft wood. Okay, and very broad leaves. They have in those. Okay, so good questions. Let's see. So let's get. You say that yes, there's a little forest type thing holding the side of the mountain together. They also said that the trees were hard, okay, or impossible to burn. I forget if they could or could not be cut with a plastic knife. Yeah, so the wood is very soft, but it seems that they are very hard to burn because of all the moisture that they contain. I remember that if you break a little branch of the tree, of the ombu tree, or a leaf, okay, it would have a lot of sap. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, here we have the woodland, shrubland. Okay, and you have that in southern Europe. The southern coast of Europe is of this type. Most of Spain is this type. In America, you have it here just in Southern California, some in Chile, some in Australia. So, but it's not a very big type of area. You have also some here. Okay, so all right. So we got back to woodland. So in woodland, the biome is short. there's wet winters and long dry summers. That's the main characteristic. So we have wet winters and very long and dry summers. The plants include short shrubs and herbs that are spread out, able to store water, like cacti, okay? And there's grazing animals, small mammals, reptiles, and insects, okay? Insects are everywhere. They survive a lot, okay? Is that what some of Washington State is? Yes, the east part of Washington State is woodland shrubland, okay? The east part, not the west part, close to the coast, but the east part of Washington State is more of that type of biome, okay? We have a picture of our family in the hollow trunk of an ombu tree. We found out later that a whole bunch of gigantic spiders were living in that particular tree, and I realized that we were getting out of it, that I was covered with spider webs. Ooh, yuck! I hate spiders. I tell you, I don't do very good with spiders or reptiles. Right. Okay. Now we have the grassland biome. All right, the grassland biome is very open, dry, cold, windy winters, low growing plants, grass and flowers, not trees, not very many trees, large herds of grazing animals and burrowing animals. All right, so here we have zebras in Africa. So part of the southern Africa is this grassland biome. Okay, also part there in South America, in Uruguay and Brazil, the area where I was from. This is the type of grassland. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that was not what an experience. Okay. Oh, you got a good picture of that. Whew. So, okay, let's see. In Europe, there's not very much of that biome. So you have the only area that you have this grassland biome is here by the Black Sea in southern Russia. Okay, between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, part of that area is classified as this type of biome, but not a whole lot of it. Okay, we talk about the aquatic biome, okay, and it's really part of the hydrosphere of Europe. Includes swamps, marshes, bogs, fens, sloughs, rivers, lakes, seas, and oceans. Okay, so all the part, so you have these swampy areas, rivers, oceans. The area really where the life happens is mostly here on the continental shelf, where it's above 200 feet, okay, below water. Uh, Okay, all right, let's see. There is a super flood here. Well, we couldn't get much different. Yeah, So Uruguay is beautiful. I love going there and very, very open with the rolling hills and everything. In Europe, this wetland biome or the aquatic biome is mostly, of course, in all the shores, okay, all inside oceans, the Mediterranean Sea, the lakes that are there, and most notably and importantly is in the area of Netherlands. Remember that I was saying how Netherlands is very, very low and there are so many rivers that come here and it becomes quite a swampy area. That is one of the reasons why they can grow tulips, because it's so wet. The tulips need a lot of moisture there, and they have special beds for that. Okay, yeah. So love going to Hawaii a couple of years ago. I went with my wife and we spent a lot of time snorkeling there around the big island of Hawaii where Ben is from. Benjamin is in Hilo, okay, Hawaii.
Okay.
Okay. And it's beautiful, really, to see the sea turtles and all the fish and everything there. I'm muting everyone unless you mute yourself, okay? If you want to make a comment, you can unmute yourself, okay? Next, we have the deciduous forest biome. Anyone wanted to say something? Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me? There
yes.
we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was just thinking a little bit. Well, I don't know for sure, but wasn't Europe a lot more marshy and boggy than it is now? Like a couple hundred years ago or something. Kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
They just. I can't think of it. Oh, I'm sorry. Do they have? Were during the Dark Ages? Was it more marshy? England.
It could have been, okay, so most of the difference has been that Europe has been deforested, okay? I don't know that the general biome of an area can change too much because the biome is dependent a whole lot on the weather, all right?
Right.
Okay, so it could be that during the ice ages, you know, you would have a difference in the biome, okay, of an area, all right. But most of the time, this is very resilient, okay. So the changes here happen kind of slowly. The main difference in the European case is that the population has grown so much that they have basically had to cut a lot of the forests, all right, in order to make cities or turn the forest areas into grassland. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that is probably more than anything what has happened with Europe. So, for example, this deciduous forest biome is the largest in Europe. So most of Europe is of this type of biome. You can see there in the map, like all of the British Isles are considered pretty much of this biome, except the highlands of Scotland, all right, that would be alpine type of weather, you know, biome. But most of Central Europe, okay, and France is of this type of biome where you have tall trees. This is the classical four-season biome, okay? Very fertile soil and is the perfect environment for lots of animals and plants and trees, really. Mm-hmm. What's on my tie? I have some flowers actually on my tie. Okay, let's see if we can see. Someone is asking about tie. All right, yeah, some very nice. We had a Christmas devotional today. Okay, so we had to dress up. I was singing in the choir. I don't sing very well, so I bet that Annika says that's one of the other things that I miss is trees and snow. So you probably get some snow, but yeah, the trees it would be missing really. So let me show this this slide here on the deciduous forest. Let's see, is that the last one that we have to do? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, I was there. Okay, so this is the deciduous forest, and I really like this slide because it kind of shows how the forest changes in the four seasons. So you see all the different times of the year and how the forests change. And then the different also altitudes, okay, of the biome. So you have a ground layer that is really the biological activity that happens right on the ground. You know, your insects, worms, all that is also particular, okay, um, if for the biome that you have. Then you have the earth layer, that is the plants that grow right immediately from the soil, okay? The shrub layer is basically whatever comes up to about 1 meter of altitude. You have the sapling or small tree layer. They are the trees that are growing. And then finally you have the canopy or the tree layer, where is the canopy of the tall trees that cover the forest. Okay? And it's really interesting to see that the type of animals, the type of vegetation, the type of birds and insects that are in this biome, they change depending not only that they are here in this biome, but depending on which layer they inhabit. Okay, so you have some animals that live basically in the canopy, right, like birds and bats. You have other animals that live kind of in the middle area, and then some animals that live exclusively in the shrub layer or the earth layer or on the ground. So these are the different types. You see the different types of biomes that Europe has. Okay, and the main reason why we do this, okay, the study of the biomes, is in order to understand. So what I want you to learn from here, okay, from this lesson, are basically four things, four principles, okay? First is, what is the biome of the place where I live, okay? So I want you to be aware and be able to identify, depending on the climate of the place where you are, the vegetation, okay, the type of seasonal changes that you have, the animals, and so on. What is the biome of my local environment? Okay, so that is concept number one that you need to learn. Be able to identify the biome of the place where you live. Okay, so Sabrina, you remember that you mentioned that you were in Ohio. What type of biome do you have there? What type of biome is in Ohio? Okay. That's right. Excellent. Temperate deciduous forest. Okay. And you see that, you know, it really matches that description where you see the four seasons, lots of changes in the weather, okay, trees, okay, and the four different layers of forest. All right. So again, human activity has many times encroached into this area, especially because the deciduous forest biome has very fertile soils. And so human activity has basically cleared some of the forest in order to turn it into land for cultivation, you know. And so that is very common now to have a lot of places that were deciduous forests but are now areas for agriculture. So we have to be careful. So, okay, lesson number one was the type of biome for your local environment. Lesson number two, all right, because in this year we are studying the continent of Europe. So lesson number two is, what are the biomes of Europe? And I want you to get a blank map of Europe, all right? And then draw in pencil and label appropriately all the different biomes of Europe, okay? And what are the characteristics of each one? Make sense? Third thing to do, okay, is to understand what are the biomes in the country that you are studying. Remember, each one of you should have picked one country to study, and so get also a blank map of the country that you are studying and create there a map describing the biomes of that. Usually I prefer, okay, and I think that you are going to remember a lot more if you do this by hand, all right? It's not the same going on the internet, searching for a map and printing it, okay? That is not the objective here, all right? So you can look on the internet and find the information you need, but I want you to actually draw this with your own hand, okay? All right. So far in the class, we have studied now weather. We have studied principles about weather in geography. We have studied hydrology, okay, the different characteristics of the hydrosphere. We have studied the lithosphere, okay, the mountains and the different areas of the world. We have studied also about the currents and how that affects weather and so on. Now in this lesson we have talked about how all those things affect the biological components, the vegetation and the type of animal life that inhabits these different regions, okay? So my objective for you this year is that by the end of the year, you are going to be able to clearly, know the country that you are studying and the whole continent of Europe, be able to understand how all these concepts apply to this area of the world, okay? So much so that if you ever travel to this country or to Europe, you will be able to feel right at home, okay? That is kind of how close, okay, I want you to feel to this, all right? So like Annika and Sam, they get to travel all over the world and everything. The next time that you go to Europe, I want you to feel that you are right familiar with the place, that you know exactly where everything is because you have studied that from this class. Does that make sense? Okay. And the same with each one of you as you study the things this year. Okay. So the reason now at this point in the class also you can see how things kind of start fitting together. All right. As we studied about climate and the different factors that affect climate, like latitude, longitude, the movement of the earth, the wind conditions, and so on, the proximity to water, okay, the oceans, and all of that, you can see that they all interact one with another in order to determine the type of environment that you have in a specific place. Okay, so you have that the weather affects the vegetation, the type of plants that grow in an area, the type of animals that live there, and also they affect, of course, the type of human activity that you have in that place. Okay, so that is what we can say is the impact that these factors have in a particular area. Okay, let's switch a little bit now and see how does this apply, if you wish, in the spiritual side of things. Okay, so you live in a home with your family. What type of environment is in your home? What is the biome, if you wish, okay, of your home, of your particular environment? And what are the factors that affect your home environment that ultimately also affect the type of life that you have, doesn't it? Okay. So let's go here to the chat, okay, and see what are some of the things, the factors really that affect your home environment, and how can we? What are some of the things that we can do to control that? Hmm.
Treat our siblings nicely.
Sorry, Nathan, what was that?
Treat our siblings nicely.
Absolutely, yeah. Yes, the way that we treat one another, especially our siblings, okay, that
Yep.
certainly affects the weather in the home, doesn't it? Sometimes if we get to fighting and everything, things get heated up very fast, okay, or they can get very cold. All right. What other things are factors that influence our home environment? Right in the middle sounds good. Emmeline, you say religion? Absolutely. The religion, the practice of religion in family life, okay, make a big difference. Okay. Having a mom and a dad, I think, is a really big thing, which a lot of children in the world don't have both or only have one. Yes. So really, when you think about that, you can really classify, okay, a lot of the things that happen in a home, okay, by the type of family structure that you have, that you are able to enjoy. A two-parent family is very different than a single-parent family, or is very different than a family with no parents. Okay. Um, I heard, I think that it was someone here in the class, okay, or in one of these classes that mentioned that in Africa, all right, especially in Central Africa, there are some traditions, all right, where children get basically put out of the house when they are 10 years old. Okay? Girls get married, they are basically given in marriage when they are, 12, 13 years old. It's not very uncommon. Okay? Can you imagine the difference in the family relationships there? Okay, so very, very different type of environment that creates. The place we live here, every time it gets overcast, everyone gets so grumpy. Yeah, I have said just rain already a lot. Yeah. How do they take care of themselves? Are you asking about the kids in Africa? How do they take care of themselves? That is actually one of the big problems in Africa because family structures are very loose. And so traditionally, when the kids grow up, okay, they become what we would call teenagers. They are out of the family home and they just belong to the tribe. Okay, they are just part of the tribe. They are expected to just fend for themselves, go hunt, fish, whatever, but take care of themselves. Okay, so I don't think that is particularly a very healthy way, okay, of doing things. But see, they are, different real environments. Okay, so Emmeline, you mentioned religion. Okay, so I have seen families that have different religions. That the parents have different religions or no religion at all. How does that affect the environment? Having family rules. Yes. Yeah, I agree, Annika. You could probably survive, but maybe not live great. Okay. in those situations. Absolutely, absolutely. So, what are some of the things that I can do, okay, that you can do personally to improve the climate, okay, in your own home, in your own life? What are some of the things that, the factors that are under your control for building a better environment? Okay. Anika, be positive in difficult situations. Absolutely. Be supportive of the decisions that parents make. Mhm. You can change yourself. You can change your environment. Sabrina, thank you. Yeah. Okay. What are some of the ways that you can change yourself? Mhm. Be a good example to younger siblings. Absolutely. Okay. So my older brother was a huge influence in the things that I did. All right. Go to the temple more. That has a huge impact on how I live my life, on the type of the spirit that I have, having family home evening. You know, many families have family home evening, okay? But the question that I have for you, all right, and you are probably very good teenagers, okay, but I wasn't that good, all right. But the question that I have is, when my family has family home evening, am I contributing to the family home evening, or I am hindering the family home evening from happening? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Okay. So I know that you're probably good. Okay. But you see that your influence on how you behave, how ready you are, how willing you are to participate makes a huge difference in the effectiveness of the family home evening. Okay, Annika, I may not be able to change the world, but I can change me, and that's all that matters because I just might change the world in the process. That is beautiful. Is that you, or is that a quote from someone? Okay. So the idea, these are very good ideas, very good discussion. Okay. And so um, uh, what I want you to take out, also the fourth principle that I want you to take from this class, is that you have a big influence in the type of environment that you build in your home. Okay, like Annika mentioned here, I may not be able to change the world, but I can change me, and that is all that matters. Okay, because I just might change the world in the process. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So that is true, Rodney. Whenever you have a large family with a big spread, okay, many times you have that the family home evening is catered or is focused on one set of ages. All right. One of the things that you can do if you are some of the older siblings in the family is you can help teach the family home evening to the younger ones. Okay, and I imagine that you probably do that. Okay, so Sabrina, you are usually the one teaching the lesson. Excellent. Okay, so those are all great ways of doing things, and they really they actually help a lot, and they really make the whole lesson a lot easier for everybody. So your dad also lets you do that. Excellent. Okay, I have just before we finish the class, I got an email today from Brother John S. Lewis. Do you remember that we talked yesterday? We talked about him in the science class. You need to watch the class, okay? I uploaded it already and linked it, okay? So it's there, okay? But this he's a member of the church, all right, and he's an astronomer, an astrophysicist, actually, and he wrote a book on mining the sky. And he said that he would love to join us one time in the class. Okay, so we are going to prepare. Okay, so I'm going to send you information in an announcement about his blog, and you need to read several of the entries in his blog and get questions prepared for him. All right. So I don't know exactly if it's going to be next Wednesday or the Wednesday next. Okay, I need to still check the schedule. It'll probably be next Wednesday. All right, if we can make it happen. All right. So you need to get ready questions, and you can send me those questions on email or something, so we can prepare for that. How many? I don't know.
What questions are we supposed to ask?
Well, he has written a lot on the issue of mining the sky, okay, mining asteroids. All right? Yeah. So I'm going to send you information about his blog, and then you can prepare questions that you may have about that. Okay? It could be questions like, for example, what do I need to study to become an astrophysicist? Okay, or how do you try? What do you mean when you mean by mining asteroids? Do you mean bringing minerals back to the Earth, or towing the asteroid in? All those type of things.
In the ocean. Throw them into the ocean.
Well, yeah, I was saying yesterday in the class that if you drop it in the ocean, okay, yes, you don't damage anything, but then it's in the ocean. Then you have to mine it out of the ocean. So
I don't know. You gotta put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
I'm a mess.
So anyway, so I think that we are going to have a lot of fun in this class. Okay. So prepare about 2 or 3 questions, all right, after you read his blog posts, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, some rare organism and kill that. All right. So guys, let's finish with a prayer. Okay. I really have enjoyed this class. I hope that you have enjoyed it too and learn more. Okay. Yeah, so Ronnie always looks at the video after class, okay? That he cannot participate live, all right? But, most everyone else does, so let's see. Anyone that has a mic would like to offer a prayer to finish? Sabrina, do you have a microphone? Mm-hmm. Okay. If not, I can always ask Nathan. Nathan is always willing and able to offer a prayer for us. So, Nathan, would you like to? Oh, okay. Let me kick out my brother. No, you can say it with your brother. No problem. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Sabrina, whenever you are ready.
People are making dinner in the background, so don't mind that.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything that thou hast given us. And we thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to gather together as a class and to learn more about this beautiful art that thou hast created for us. And please bless us, Lord, that we'll have the Spirit to be with us as we go through the rest of this day. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. So that was the little brother, right? Okay. Well, guys, thank you very, very much. That's why I kick him out. Yeah. I think that deserves some kicking out.